What if you were thinking about getting a divorce, but then you got a mysterious email asking if you wanted to make a reality show out of it at a resort in Puerto Rico, but then when you show up and you start fighting with your spouse, the guy from Bar Rescue shows up? That's basically the premise of Marriage Rescue, a spin-off of Bar Rescue where, oh, I'm sorry, did you not know that Jon Taffer is qualified to save marriages? Yeah, well, neither did anyone else. Hey, but you know what they say, if you could save a bar, you could save a marriage. They say that, right? Please don't make me sound crazy. Yeah, so Jon basically takes these couples out to a resort, lets them yell at each other, and gives super basic, borderline bad advice that either saves their marriage or sinks it. I've actually covered this show before. It's nothing short of batshit, and you're probably thinking, well, hey, I've seen the way that Jon deals with people on Bar Rescue. Surely he's not gonna do the same thing here, right? Right? This show is the equivalent to the conversation you have with the teacher when you get in trouble at recess. It's 40 minutes of emotional Squid Game. There is no correct way to make this show, no reason it ever should have been made, and really, I guess there's no reason for me to even be making this video. I don't even really know how to transition out of this clip, so I guess I'll just put in a clip of me playing Fortnite. Goodbye. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. I don't know, maybe I just am good at Fortnite. That could be the case. Now, because I'm already so familiar with Jon and his antics, I thought it would be cool to start this video off by doing something super fun and super invasive. Because I don't want to just watch the show, I want to feel like I'm a part of it. In the intro for the show, Jon claims that he's taking people to
a 5-star resort in Puerto Rico.
And I really wanted to find this resort, but at first I was like, no, they didn't give enough information for me to actually find it. Apparently they did. Perhaps I'm a genius, but it took me maybe 5 minutes to find this place, and all I had to do was look up the word resort. So if you want to hang out with Jon in the summer, check out the Wyndham. Doxed, get fucked. Oh, by the way, Jon reveals something else in the intro that I didn't know.
The fact that I'm the one trying to fix their marriage, well, that's a surprise.
Oh. Yeah, so the people doing the show don't even know that Jon is gonna be the one helping them out, and that really sucks, right? Because if I was there, I would be like, no, drinking makes me feel like a winner. Oh shit, it's Jon Taffer. Oh, what the? Oh, no. If I ever meet Jon, this is the Jon I want to see. Actually, like, have you seen him more happy? I'm gonna reel myself in here and get focused now, okay? But first, another Fortnite clip. You've gotta be a bot. You've gotta be a bot. Maximum Bro 3, that's a fucking bot.
I have mixed emotions about being here.
I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful, but I have my doubts.
Our first couple today is Millie and Daniel. They've been married for 2 years and they are no longer feeling the spark. Now, a couple things about this. First off, Daniel gives off some really dark vibes. I would not trust him around a woman's drink. I would not trust him around his own drink. Oh, and second of all, speaking of drinks, listen to this.
In the beginning of our times, we were always hanging out. We went to the bars, and that was so much fun. Then Daniel said he wasn't gonna drink no more.
So basically she's saying she's upset that he stopped drinking, which I don't even know how to unpack, but hopefully we'll get there. But apparently ever since he stopped drinking, Daniel has become this hermit of sorts who never wants to go out or socialize.
When he quit drinking, I lost Daniel.
I don't go out barely at all. I don't see my friends anymore.
All right, hold on. Can you guys stop being like actually crazy for a second? So here's the problem that I'm seeing. Tell me if I'm wrong. Millie's a goddamn alcoholic, okay? If the show didn't tell us that, we would have figured it out at some point. Let's be real. Look, they both have the bar trash tattoos. Come on. Look, come on. This tells me that somewhere down the line, Daniel noticed a problem, quit drinking, got shamed by his in-denial wife, and now has completely shut down. Okay, but here's Daniel's problem. He's a fucking baby. I can smell the poopy in the diaper.
Is that your boyfriend?
Are you serious?
In all realness, though, they're both super duper sad. They're currently not living together, and quite honestly, I think they need professional help that isn't Jon Taffer. Our other couple is Ricardo and Amber, and it's gonna take you a while to pick up on, but they both suck a lot.
I met Ricardo through my cousin. She was his barber.
When I first saw Amber, I thought she was very beautiful, and I was definitely taken by her.
Okay, so I gotta pause here. What a dry backstory. Wow. When I met Amber, I thought she was very beautiful, and now we're married. Yep, like you and every married guy ever. Like, come on, man, give us a little more, you know, give us something to work with. I feel it, like you're hiding something.
When we got married, we had petty arguments, but our major arguments came into play when he started gambling.
Oh, there it is, baby, we got a gambler. sleepy. Just leave me alone. I can't get DraftKings to load. Well, Ricardo doesn't see a problem with the gambling. In fact, he claims that he's gambling with extra funds, which is so cute. You know, what a little wordsmith. Hey, you know, he's right though, okay? Extra funds, liquid assets, draining the 401k. You know, it doesn't really mean anything.
See that you've taken money out of the joint accounts.
Yeah, we put it back within a week and a half.
Wow, okay, big spender, week and a half, you got some experience. Hey, you know what, I believe him though, okay? You know what they say, 90% of gamblers quit before their big break. So this relationship is also highly troubled because while Ricardo refuses to accept his gambling addiction, Amber is extremely volatile and unwilling to have a peaceful conversation.
You're a fucking liar, dude. I can't, I'm sorry. Don't fucking lie! I'm so sick of it!
And this is hard, right? Because while that can be seen as an overreaction, I get it. You know, if I was trying to get through to someone as hard as she has been for as long as she has been, you know, maybe I'd do that too. Now, by this point, I'm sure you're all wondering, where's Jon? Why haven't we heard from Jon yet? Andy, how was your day? Well, Jon's doing some good old recon, and because we're back to marriage rescue, it also means that we're back to the Call of Duty drone strike device. Hey, question for you. You think he knows what a single button on there does? Well, thankfully that doesn't matter because today, Jon's ready to spring into action rather quickly, which is odd because usually he needs some kind of convincing to hop to. But all these guys do is start playing ping pong, which is enough for Jon to be like, all right, they're having too much fun, let's go!
Good save. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my god.
Millie?
I don't know, guys. That might be the most that might be the most awkward Jon intro I've ever watched. I'm telling you, dude, it's because the guy is a fucking behemoth. I'm sure his presence in person is just jaw-dropping. Okay. Are you guys ready to see the most predictable thing ever?
Bar Rescue is my favorite show, and to see Jon, and I'm just in shock right now.
So yeah, who's fucking surprised? Millie is a Bar Rescue super fan, and Jon loves it. But guys, he's not gonna show it.
Well, you see me on TV.
Bar rescue?
Yeah. I've helped a lot of couples, too, over the years.
Okay, Johnny, you can let him know. So they explain that they have a lot of trust issues, with Millie always going out and Daniel always staying home. Daniel also explains that in arguments, past things often get brought up.
Past stuff will get brought up, like the no sex thing, that gets brought up a lot.
Oh, yeah, you know. Like the no sex thing. He's basically just saying that when the drinking stopped, he wanted to stop having sex. But when he says the no sex thing, like, I don't know, it sounds like a rule. Anyway, it still feels like the root of this issue is drinking, but Jon assures them that as long as they dedicate to the process, he's gonna be able to help them. Some of you may be a little bit surprised by Jon's lack of yelling so far, but I would argue that his process in this show is even more terrifying. In Bar Rescue, he's hot out the gate, you know, but in Marriage Rescue, it's like he slowly rises to a boiling point, right? He's so calm that he could just snap at any moment. Did you guys hear that little lisp when I said snap? I sound like a snotty child.
I know Amber thinks Ricardo has a gambling problem, but I can tell there's much more going on with these two than just that.
And like even now, like you're getting so frustrated that I'm even saying this.
Okay, so yeah, see, I kind of agree with Jon here. Once again, I believe her feelings are valid, but the problem with Amber is that it feels like she's come into this with the idea that she's already winning in some kind of way. So she's kind of just assuming Ricardo's intentions. I feel like we've all seen this relationship before somewhere in our lives, you know? The negative loop is actually really hard to break out of.
But you don't listen to anything I have to say. You disregard it and tell me I'm lying, or tell me I'm not being truthful when I am being truthful. You, even right now, I didn't ask you to shake your head. I just asked you to sit there and listen.
Yeah, well, it's hard. You know, it feels like they're baiting each other in different ways, you know? It's like they're each a different kind of baby. You know, Ricardo just cries and also does nothing, and then Amber throws temper tantrums. You know, their style of communication is completely fucked.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I'm your wife!
So Amber storms outside, and she's super pissed. And look, dude, I know that he messed up with that comment, right? I know. But if that one comment caused all of this, then I think we can definitely agree that there's an issue on both sides, right? Well, Jon is shaken by this turn of events, so he decides to jump in and sit down with them before Amber does anything drastic. What I find hysterically sad about this, though, is that Amber pulls up with a huge glass, meaning she literally had to sedate herself in order to continue. Okay, so Jon's like, what's the problem? And Amber's like,
gambling.
And then Jon asks Ricardo,
You have a gambling problem?
I don't have a gambling problem.
Nope. And this part is so funny to me because he clearly does, right? But he's so bad at lying that it almost seems like he's not even trying to hide it. And Jon can tell too, you know, he even throws in a little jab.
So you gamble to make money?
Yes.
And how's that working out for you?
Amber states that her reason for going through this process is to get Ricardo to admit his lies, but Jon reminds her that in order to fix a marriage, you have to acknowledge both sides of fault. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, this like might be the most grounded I have ever seen Jon, okay? Like, stop. Do the other thing. He does do this one goofy thing at the end of the scene where he's just like,
Okay. See you later.
yeah, he just kind of leaves them there in silence. It's so weird.
In order to keep this from being too volatile, I just need to stop talking.
Oh my God, dude, grow up! Now it's day 2, and you know how on Bar Rescue, Jon does the employee stress test? Well, I'm sure given that context, you'll be quaking in fear at the relationship stress test. I don't know, man, this seems, it seems in poor taste. I mean, isn't the stress test, like, every day for them?
Today's test will force them to communicate. There's something about sitting in quiet that compels people to talk to one another, to fill in the silence.
Okay, freak. Looks like Jon's gonna send these poor fuckers out on a boat, but like not even alone. There's gonna be a dude with them, also a camera crew. And I find that pretty ironic, you know? I mean, I feel like alone time is the one thing that you cannot do with a camera in your face. But they're loving on each other, dude. You know, she's gripping his thigh. He's doing like the alpha hold. And at one point he's like, whoa, look at that. And it's literally a seagull. So it would seem that this stress test is actually going rather well. I mean, he's inhaling her neck. I don't know what the hell's happening. But they communicate in such an odd way, dude. Like, the show is playing this cute music, but it's reading like they're, I don't know, like they're drugged.
I appreciate you being you right now, like you're opening up.
And being loving like I used to.
Yeah.
And being loving like I used to. And being loving like I used to. And being loving like I used to.
And being loving like I used to.
Right, sorry, like, what is happening right now? Okay, the feeling that I'm experiencing is levels beyond discomfort.
Which is weird because you're not drinking.
You always go back to the drinking.
Because-
It wasn't the
Oh,
drinking.
okay,
Because
okay,
it wasn't
okay, guys, how did we get here? Also, what an absolutely fucked up thing to say. Oh, you're so happy and full of life. Surprised you're not drunk. Like, dude, she has a problem, all right? She's actively trying to get him to start drinking again.
How did these two go from a tender, loving moment to attack mode so quickly?
Jon, you tell me. It's funny because Jon goes on to be like, hopefully they can work out this argument calmly, and they definitely don't do that. Daniel starts getting jealous and accuses Millie of sleeping with other guys, and she's basically like, well, I could.
What's stopping me now from going off and someone else?
Look at this, poor dude in the background's just fishing. Like, I'm sure he agreed to be on the show, but there's no way he signed up for this. Needless to say, things end off pretty rough between them, and might I say, very unnecessarily. Speaking of unnecessary, Ricardo and Amber sit down to have a drink, and well, I'm sure you can tell where this is going. Amber's basically like, I need you to apologize to me. And Ricardo's like, I need you to let me share my thoughts without you blowing up. In fact, I don't know if I told you this. No, yeah, he's like, I haven't told you this, but our daughter told me that she wants us to stop having screaming matches, which is unbelievably sad. So we gotta think about the children. We gotta think about the children, right?
Can you look at me and say, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings? I have to be a hardcore, hard shell ass man. This is why I get up and leave.
The children died just now during that. You're probably gonna be in a lot of trouble. Well, now Amber's refusing to film without Jon. Period.
I'm not filming no more without Jon, period.
So Jon heads up to her hotel room to show Ricardo how to be a real man.
Talk to me. He's not here. You're an animated, energetic, very communicative young lady.
Honestly, animated is kind of fucked up. He slid that one under the radar. Regardless, though, Jon wants to give them one last chance. And I don't think failure is an option.
Tomorrow will be a productive day for you one way or another.
On the other side of things, Millie and Daniel are miserable. Let's see what Jon has to say to cheer him up.
Rough day, huh?
And now things are getting super spicy between them because Daniel's like, I know you're going to the bars when we're separated. And Millie's like,
Wait, I'm just supposed to stay home?
oh my God. No, I get that reasoning. Like, she's not gonna stay home all the time, but why does it always have to be bars? Well, whatever the reason, it feels like we're getting mighty close to a major truth. And Jon can feel it because now he's getting serious.
Stop drinking how long?
Year and a half.
And I told him I'm proud of him for that.
Do you feel that? Or do you feel that she'd like it if you started drinking again?
She does mention that.
Oh, dude, this is so hard to watch. Okay, this is gonna sound messed up, but I need to know. What was so good about him being plastered 24/7? I mean, they have kids now. It sounds like one of them is facing the reality of family life alone while the other one is just going out and partying. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Do you love him for who he is right now? Look in his eyes, do you?
Oh my fucking God, dude, are you serious? As usual, Jon gives his opponent a second chance to answer, and this time she says yes. But that's not gonna be enough for Jon.
Then tell him you're freaking committed to this.
I'm committed if he's committed.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, nah, I'm done with this scene. Day 3, also known as the relationship improvement exercise, brings Daniel and Millie to a tiki bar. How romantic. Look, I get that he's trying to put them through challenges and whatnot, but he's managed to put them in the least romantic situations almost consistently. But this isn't just any tiki bar, okay? This just so happens to be a tiki bar that Jon saved after it was obliterated by Hurricane Maria. And how sweet is that, right? You know, Jon wants to compare their crippled marriage to a devastating natural disaster that claimed thousands of lives.
How are you both? Good?
So far, so good.
I can't do it. Gonna be totally real here. Not really sure what Jon was thinking. These bar owners barely speak English. But I get the message that's being made here. You know, this couple fell to nothing and managed to stay strong because they had each other. Still crazy that he compared Daniel and Millie to a hurricane, though. This advice seems rather obvious, right? Well, apparently, that's all it took to get through to Millie.
They had nothing, and they're still together. I could do that with Daniel.
Jon's like, fire up the weather machine, guys. It's time for another national tragedy. Well, things are looking on the up and up for them, but for Ricardo and Amber, not so much. And guys, don't kill me, but break up. So let's see where Jon's decided to send them now, huh?
This neighborhood was completely destroyed, but we're here to fix it because we have to push Puerto Rico forward.
Okay, I was fine with the tiki bar, but now you're just using the people of Puerto Rico as an example. This feels wrong.
Definitely feel for you. We've got kids of our own. I couldn't imagine. Like,
okay, no.
No.
This woman is literally in tears, and Amber's just like, oh no. So now I guess they're just helping gut and repaint this person's house, which, you know what? I think both of them could use a little bit of humbling. This is good. But this is Ricardo and Amber after all, so we know that nothing is ever truly settled.
Just makes me think of all the wasted money.
Nah! Like, that's actually some movie villain shit right there. You cannot get more evil. If you're able to turn this situation into a petty marriage argument, then I don't know what to tell you, dude.
This is unbelievable to me, that in the face of such devastation, Amber still wants to argue about money.
Facts, dude!
Hurricane Amber is a big problem in our relationship.
Oh my God, okay, equally as insane. We gotta move on. We gotta move on. Jon's tried everything at this point, and I gotta give it to him because this has been a lost cause since day one. So now he's just gonna try to sit down and talk it out one more time. But based on the fact that Amber is already smirking, I am nervous. Everything that Ricardo says in this conversation is either smirked off or dismissed by Amber, and it sucks because this time he's actually apologizing.
Listen to what the man is saying. He was telling you how he felt, and you didn't have the patience to listen to him. Rather than learning how he felt, you were the one who cut it off.
Woo-hoo-hoo! What a killer line, dude. You think Jon was back in the hotel room practicing that one? You were the one. No. You were the one. Nah, fuck. So now I'm not afraid to say it. Amber is creating the entirety of the problem at this current moment. Yes, Ricardo has major things to fix, but it would seem that her resentment has reached a point of no return. Miraculously, though, we do end up getting to another root issue, which is that Amber is simply bored. So Jon says, guys, I have just the thing. Go-karting. Dude, you placed them in a poverty center and they still felt nothing. How is go-karting going to solve anything? Also in the last scene, Jon was like,
You had a beautiful resort in Puerto Rico.
so you want them to go go-karting? You can literally do that anywhere. In the meantime, that bar owner couple from before, they actually split up with Millie and Daniel. For Millie, this means wedding dress shopping. But while they do that, the other bar owner, Victor, has decided to share some more marital advice with Daniel.
Ceviche. It's an aphrodisiac, you know? Yeah, when she tastes this, she's gonna be hot, you know? 15 minutes in the kitchen, 3 hours in the bed.
Ceviche is Viagra. Imagine getting sex advice from an old man that you've met twice, and one of those times was him telling you about getting ransacked by a hurricane. Okay, so Millie's got a dress and Daniel's dick works again. Let's move on. Jon sits them down to give them one last choice. They're either gonna stay together or they're gonna dip.
In your room is your wedding dress and a box. And when you come out of that room, either I want you to be in that wedding dress or I want you to put that wedding dress in a box and I'll ship it home to you for your next marriage.
God damn, dude. Fuck. Come on, man. I know you've been preparing those one-liners, but we're trying to focus on saving this marriage, not preparing for the next one. But guys, we've done it. We've reached the climax in the end of the episode. So let's see what happens. You guys, you think it's gonna be good? Ricardo and Amber meet Jon on the beach, and well, I didn't see this coming, but they actually find resolve and make up. And surprise, surprise, Millie ends up coming out in the dress to meet Daniel, who, by the way, is wearing a blue button-up and jeans. Like, couldn't have Jon given him, like, a blazer or something? You know what, though? Honestly, who cares? Because this episode was messy, and I mean, quite honestly, I think the outcome was a little bit fabricated. Let's be real. Mainly for Ricardo and Amber. Like, I don't even understand how they can reconcile after everything that they've just been through and have been through in the past. I hope they fixed up that lady's house though. Guys, holy shit, that was exhausting. This was weird. I feel like in the last marriage rescue episode I did, the couples were a lot more like in-your-face idiots. These people were actually deeply troubled, and it made me feel weird inside. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, you should definitely like and comment and just interact in general. I heard that if you do that, something very, very wet and hot and steamy will happen to you in the night. Send this to your crush. Guys, unfortunately, that is all I have for you this time. But here's what I'm gonna say. Until next time. Guys, it's the episode with Bill and Lena. Wait, right now, he's doing the part.
And tell her what you want to do. You selfish ass.
So good. All right, guys, bye.